So, hello everyone. Welcome to a new edition of On Air, the online format of Swiss AI Weeks and Wildcard Media. And today we have a huge team here from BEGASOFT. It's the AI team from BEGASOFT, and the topic today will be multi-agent systems hands-on, confidentially controlling AI with Brandbot. And our guests will be, I'm just naming them, let me see on the list, Billy Molina, Tobias Läderach, Fabiola Studer, Xavier Molina, and Tom von Allmen. The session will be streamed on YouTube, as always. And I hope we have the presentation running. So let's see. So the stage is yours, guys. So Tobias, will you take over?
Yes, I will have the same problem with my sharing. I'm sorry.
Okay, then we have a quick check here. So maybe I will use the time to talk a bit about now. Okay. Otherwise, I would have explained what kind of events will be happening today all across Switzerland. But now I'm seeing slides as well. Great.
Do you see my screen?
Yes. Amazing. So the stage is yours.
Let's start. Welcome to our honor session today about multi-agent systems hands-on with Brandbot. My name is Toby, CEO of BEGASOFT, and before we start into the topic, I would like to have a quick overview of who we are, who BEGASOFT is. So we are doing pretty much running private cloud, doing infrastructure and managed cloud services here in Switzerland, the whole IT operation, and as well individual software and also software as a service products. And the reason why we're here is because of our AI services, that you have a quick overview of what we're doing. It's basically the infrastructure part, the platform part, operation part, workshop part. But today we're focusing really on our AI platform, as I mentioned, Brandbot, and it's pretty much an orchestration platform for any AI use case. So our promise is pretty much that we would like to provide the possibility that you and your company can run AI use cases, agents, models, kind of independently and always under control. So we focus on really giving the control in your hands, not kind of a black box, but you will have the opportunity to create or manage models, agents by yourself. The focus, of course, is really transform the business through automation, because with generative AI, it's a lot of things possible you will experience later on. And for the adoption of AI, for us, it's always important to have these experiences right where the employees are, the users are, the customers are. So we're focusing also in those topic of multi-channelcy. Either you use AI within Word, within Teams, within your own software application, your own standard software application. It shouldn't matter, and that's kind of these three important points we would like to provide to you with Brandbot. So as I mentioned, control is a big deal. Short control your AI. It's always us who still need to think, of course. We need to think what is really the job to be done, which steps we really do. So this topic of chain of thoughts. we need to steer the whole thing. So we need to give instructions through a prompt, and in the end, there's the large language model, the kind of the basis which enables those opportunities. So these are pretty much the three important parts, and we put below, as I mentioned, as a foundation, as an orchestration, this AI platform Brandbot. So this gives you the control of your prompts, of your agents, of your models, and it's kind of the heart of our platform. So this as a short introduction. I now pass over to Billy, and we starting into this to the real session.
Okay, so thank you everyone to be part of this session with us. So let's jump into the topic of these multi-agent systems. So when we want to start understanding what is a multi-agent system, of course, the right way to do is to understanding what is an agent. So if we can continue here, Toby. So then here by example, this of course is something that we start hearing this concept about AI agent maybe the last month every single day, or at least in our environment. So, but the common understanding of an agent is an application that includes these LLMs or a model, include a model that also has tools. These models also have access to some resources. And using these tools or these input or those resources produce an output. And this output will be, of course, an answer or an action. So pretty much an AI agent is an LLM that we will receive some inputs and produce an output. So understanding the simple concept of an AI agent, then the next one will be to understand what's a multi-agent. And pretty much a multi-agent system is no more than two or more agents collaborating together to produce an output. So when we are working with more than an agent, or when an agent or a single LLM is not suitable to produce the right output because the basic limitations of an agent, then of course we will jump into the concept of working with multi-agent. And then when we start working with multi-agent systems, then we start having this challenge of how we will coordinate or how we will orchestrate those agents. But another in the real life, if we could continue here, yeah, then we will also very fast will be facing not only that are more than one agent needed to execute a task, but we will have this group of agents or teams also being coordinated with the human in or on the loop. So pretty much by example, when you want to do something today in your daily work, you will maybe go to the platform A or the platform B, or even when you go and it's simple use ChatGPT, beside in the interface of ChatGPT input prompt, it will be, of course, multiple system, multiple models, multiple strategies to solve your request. So continue here into the next slides, because now we are understanding that this multi-agent systems is pretty much trying to orchestrate or coordinate more than one agent. Then the next concept, very basic to understand, is about these orchestration patterns. And what those orchestration patterns pretty much are basic definitions of how these different agents interact between each other. So one of the most common or the basic pattern is this basic routing, also called triage agent or supervised agents, when there is pretty much one agent in front of others agents only with the task to identify which are the correspondent agents to execute a task. In the next slide, we will check by example that in the previous slide, we saw this scenario when an agent is responsible to select another agent. But then other pattern or very common pattern that we use for orchestrating this multi-agent system is the deterministic flows. So in these deterministic flows, pretty much it's an agent getting the context of an agent, of the previous agents, to produce a specific results. So it could be, these flows could be always as a results that goes, by example, in sequential, in parallel, or if we continue here, or in circular, when the last agent of the chain return the result of the deterministic flow to the first agent. So then, of course, these patterns is starting getting a little bit more complex or more advanced. There is other pattern that is adaptive, collaborative, or the agentic patterns, when pretty much the patterns start giving a little bit more responsibility or identifying other ways to cooperate. So, but on those patterns, you will always look that one agent, it will be like the supervisor or the coordinator of those other agents to produce a results. So here in the example, we have this coordinator trying to interact with the ideation, review, or validation agents to produce our results. And of course, there are custom patterns. So basically, when we want to coordinate those agents or we want to produce or put those agents as a part of an application or a software, then we pretty much there are some patterns that are it looks like a nest. It is what the flow was defined for the system or for the algorithm that we want to implement. So then after looking at this concept or basic concept of multi-agent systems, understanding about the patterns, and understanding that the centerpiece of these are the AI agent, then the next question to answer is, what is an agent or AI agent in Brandbot? Because if the basic concept of an agent about this LLM or these inputs or using of tools that produce an output, yeah, is the centerpiece. When we want to work with agents in the real life or in our companies or in real applications, we will need more than that. So then here in this Brandbot agent, you could, by example, define or identify the type or the expertise of the agent flow. So instead of you need to program every single time again, or doesn't have a way to improve that application, in Brandbot we have curated operations per agent that pretty much define all the parameters and variables required for that agent to work. So starting with the infrastructure, where is this agent running? Which inference provider we will use? We will use Azure, we will use AWS. Of course, BEGASOFT is a very good opportunity to use as an inference provider. We will use Bedrock, we will use a GPU in our data center. So having the possibility to define in an agent the infrastructure that we will execute that application, and when this infrastructure, I need to balance that infrastructure, putting something in front of the infrastructure to handle, by example, I don't know, yes, load balancing task or fault tolerance strategies. We also we will need to not only have the possibility to define the infrastructure, but also to define the models that I want to run for this specific task. So here in Brandbot, our agent, you define the model, but by example, I am using a reasoning model, maybe GPT-4o, and the application is running very good. But then some weeks later, there is the GPT-5. And when you need to go live or use this application in production, and then you need to rewrite the whole system, or maybe you have this process that is hard-coded in your application, the approach of the Brandbot agent is that you could really come here in the configuration of the agent and change the model with a simple click. And then when you already have these models and this infrastructure, then of course you will face about how this agent will behave. So for that, by example, when I using an agent for a rack system, then I want to understand how many requests per knowledge base I want to have, or what is the confidence level that I want to apply. So, sorry. So pretty much configure the agent, their settings, the parameters, the system prompts, the default prompts, sharing prompts between the organization, implemented advanced settings that are per model, that some models support image, some models support function calling, some models support structure output, some models support different characteristics, and those characteristics are well defined in our Brandbot agent. So you're pretty much understanding that a Brandbot in Brandbot, an agent is more than the basic concept. It's an agent that has these different configurations, but based on their types. So the common types that we implement in the Brandbot agents platform is about pretty much the standard ones. And there is here a simple list about the type of agent that we have in our platform, like image to text or answer generation, or triage agents, or parallel task execution, embeddings of text, etc. And here, before we start this video, then the question is, but why? If I'm very happy with an agent executing, why I need to orchestrate or coordinate? And here in this video, I want to present a simple demo. I asking hello, and then the agent responds hello with pretty much in less than 2 seconds. Yeah? Because the model itself doesn't need nothing more than the request to generate the answer. But then at the same agent, I'm asking that give me information about the support of domain access control in Brandbot. And for this task, then of course it will take more time, because the agent identified that we need to call a tool, and that tool is an rack system that we have integrated via MCP in this agent, and then extract the information or set the information in that MCP server, and with that information generate the answer. And of course, that process take not 2 seconds. Maybe it will take 5, 10, 15, 20 seconds, depending on the size of the rack system. So pretty much by example, the use of the multi-agent systems, or the agent orchestration, or this type of triage agents, is not only in the terms of the functionality, but also in terms of efficiency or the strategy, how we will use the resources or make these different agents to work together to produce the value for the customer. So with that explanation, we have the possibility to understand a little bit about this multi-agent system. And now's the time to Fabi, that she will show you the live demo on the platform how she's using the agent pretty much.
So hi everybody. We do this in a very easy way. So I would like to show you so I'm Fabio, I'm part of the AI team, and I want to show how we use MCPs in our daily business. So you presented the slide? Toby, you were sharing, or Tom, are you sharing?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, so I have
Well done.
a use case for creating commercial offers. And in this use case, you will see this is assisted offer creation based on, I always make some notes by myself. And in this case, you will see two different kind of features that I use to generate from my notes, or from a picture, a text, and from a message. We make lots of voice messaging to enrich, or to, when I have questions, I place to the Toby or to the team, and I get some recordings with the answers. And the third part is then an MCP where I use it with the rack system, where I have all the different Herbus structures for documentation, and a shared agent that is from Tom, where you will find, for example, in the website from brandbot.ch, an agent, an humanoid that can give you answer about the product, the features, services that we are offering inside the world of Brandbot. So if you continue, please stop in the next slide, you will see the first video where I just take the picture that I took from my notes, and I generate the feature generates from this picture a JPEG or a PNG. It extracts the text and place it in a context. So that will be the first one. And then the second one, if you continue for the next video, you can go it will be the transcription. So this is when as I mentioned, we have a lot of MP3 voice messages. And then I take that MP3, and then I translate it or extract from voice to text the content. So with this content, mostly is about, I don't know, things that are not clear for me, things that are missing for as an information, so I can gather then more details to be able to make an offer. So with these two informations, as you see, I just then copy them, and then I can use them with my, exactly, you see here, which generates the information out of that text extracted by my transcription agent. And in the third, you see here the information. I also have the possibility to have a quick look. But with these two, in the last video, if you can just continue, Toby, please, you will have a look how I just put these two informations together. And then the triage agent that you see below on the box is this MCP collaboration between these two agents, where one gives me the structure of Hermes and the other one gives me the content of the shared agent from marketing, from Tom, with the whole information about BEGASOFT, about us, and about the product, services, and features from Brandbot. So what it helps me is just to be more efficient, be faster. I know exactly what I have to say in my offer. I just can have a quick look to show you what is usually the output. And you see, I always have here the possibility to really work the content and continue my journey with on my own, correcting text, deleting, and also if I want to go back, I can then also continue using other kind of agents, not just MCP, but also mono agents and etc. Yes. So this was my use case, and I just give the word to Tom so he can show you his use case.
Hello, everybody. My name is Tom. I'm responsible for the marketing at BEGASOFT. And I will quickly show you what I'm doing now with the information we got. So we had this offer, and in this case, we won it, and we want to celebrate it. And I want to make an internal news picture for celebration and the LinkedIn post out of it. So you can go further, Toby. I have here my agent where I put in my the offer with the information and connect it with my agent who is feeded with all the information about BEGASOFT in behind and with the right voice and tonality and everything for communicating on LinkedIn and so on. And it's now getting the information from the project, from the what we have done here, and it generates now a post which we can then use for also for sharing. You see it here. It's quite long. It's maybe a little bit too long. Need a little bit of fine tuning in the prompting, but all the information is in here. Exactly. We'll wait for the finish of that. So the next one will be, I also want to have like an image. I use our company group photo, and I also want to celebrate it for the internal news, that I have an internal post also to show them, hey, we have won this project, and to have a fitting image for that. It's also connected here with Nano Banana in behind from the Gemini model, which is quite capable of generating images without changing the image before. So yeah, you can see that here. So yeah, that's from my side. I will hand over, I think, to Javi.
Hi everyone, my name is Xavier. I'm part of the AI team, and I will present how you can connect your agents with external tools with an MCP. So here we have a case from one of our partners, Brahman partner, that they needed to connect an external tool that was an API that had the legal responses in the correct structure that she needs. The information, the article information, and all the information out of this tool. So what we did is we have an MCP to API MCP server. It's very difficult to explain, but it's not only that allows an MCP creation with an API. So there we have a normal token that allows us to connect with this API and get this data. Once we have this connection created, we can connect this MCP to the triage agent that we already showed, that you can connect not only external tools, but also connect internal tools in Brandbot. You can connect the different agents that we had. There is a lot of agents that show that is the answer generation, that has a RAG behind, and I can connect various agents with RAG, and also an MCP tool that will be the LexiSearch tool. Then we can show the video, please, Toby.
Yeah, let me check. Do you see the slides or not?
No.
No, only you, Toby.
Only you in the background of BEGASOFT.
One moment. Sorry for that.
Regarding to a comment that I saw in the chat regarding privacy, we can run models in our computer. You can run models in a secure cloud service as Infomaniac or Syscon, and they promise these open source models that are running on there, and also private. These providers, but
maybe let's jump into showing the platform also, and also some questions. There are some questions I could very happy to answer.
we have
How many questions we have. So maybe Fabio, you could, or the rest of the team, check over the important questions. And I will jump into showing the platform and answer all of any of those. With your help also, Toby, right? I think pretty much for the presentation, we are done here. And you can stop sharing, Toby, if you like. I think you already done that.
Yes, I'm not sharing it.
So then questions here. Do you use a specific agent framework? In this case, this is a question from Jonata. So we use almost, or we are building all of these set of tools or agents with different SDKs or frameworks per provider. One of the things we want to implement here in Brandbot is the ability that the companies and the AI applications doesn't depend on a specific framework and provider. So by example, when we need to implement Nano Banana, we need to use the SDKs and framework from Google. When we need to use all the APIs from OpenAI, we need to use also their tools to implement that. And pretty soon we found in the need of create those company-ready tools like the agent chat that you already saw to fulfill also the needs for the company. By example, in those agent chat, you could implement your single sign-on or create I don't know, for example, if you use Microsoft Office 365, you could create an application and integrate your authentication directly into the app. So the answer is we use pretty much everything what is available for us. Then, where is the second question is about the SaaS offering and where is this hosted? Do you want to answer that, Toby?
Sure, I can do that. So the platform is running on our infrastructure here in Switzerland, in Bern. Like the whole platform, the whole rack, pipeline, and also the data you provide. Depending on which model you use, of course, then it could be another location of the model. So we can use open source models here in Switzerland, in our infrastructure, in other infrastructure. If you run your own model, you can inference that model, but you can also be really flexible regarding using different kind of models. But we can guarantee that we can provide all the data and the data flow only in Switzerland for especially the use cases we have with our customers, which have more sensitive data, maybe have some regulations that everything is just need to run in Switzerland and by a Swiss company. So the platform itself, as I mentioned, is here. Depending on the selection of the model, it could be also going to Europe, to United States, the whole world. Yeah, I hope that helped.
Yes, and please.
But maybe you. But maybe you can show, Billy, you can show also the platform that we have the opportunity, also to define the inference service, which kind of data this inference service is allowed to process.
Yeah.
So regarding my data classification, if it's public data, if it's internal data, if it's confidential data, I have the opportunity to have also the configuration kind of security by design that I only process documents or external data through the inference services, which are really allowed to.
Yeah, I will show that, but I really like to this question about Jonata. She's asking about the typical delivery time frame for an agentic solution to a customer. So that's exactly the vision or the mission that we also have here with Brandbot, is how we accelerate that in a way that doesn't take weeks to do those activities. So pretty much when there is a simple solution that the information is in a rack, it's a project that we could execute in maybe 1 day or in some minutes. Yeah. But of course, we need to set up and be sure that the infrastructure that the project requires is the one that is needed for the project. So, for answering in the right way, if there is in the best scenario, like it's for a website, the data is open. It's not important about the storage of the information. There is no concern with the type of model that we will use. Then of course I'm very happy or proud to say you that in less than a day you could run your application through Brandbot. But I will then now proceed. Please, if someone need to or have some more questions, we are open today to answer any question that you have. But now I will share my computer, yeah, to show the platform and start understanding how this magic happens. Okay, so I hope you are looking my computer. So pretty much this is the workspace page of Brandbot. And what is a workspace? In a workspace, you will have the possibility to create some group of projects. You will define the users or invite users that are able to be part of that project. You will define roles or assign roles to those users, deploy apps. This is Javi was explaining about this complexity or this concept about integrating MCPs with APIs. But here in Brandbot, when you want to deploy, and why we say that we could deploy this in 5 minutes or in less than a day, is here you have applications that are ready to be deployed. So like an MCP to API or a simple web for the website or a web plugin or an Office plugin for your Outlook or an AI agent, that pretty much this is the plugin that you already saw. And when you want to deploy this application, you define the project that it will be host the application. And we provide also a subdomain that you could use from Brandbot. So you could put here your project, and then this will be also online directly for the web use. Going more in the direction of the request from Toby, here in the knowledge bases, when we create a knowledge base, we have the possibility to define these data filters. So we will create this AI knowledge base that we will support some or handle some documents on structured data. And then, but I could tag this data and say this data is public or private or confidential. Why I will do this? Because when I need to use this data and go or send this data to the models, then this will go through an inference provider. So this inference provider that pretty much we support what is the available in the market. When I created an inference provider, the inference provider that hosts the model, we also have a filter. So the platform, we will take care that not send classified data to a public inference provider. Yeah. Pretty much this is for answering what Toby mentioned. But going into the topic of the presentation right now is about the agents and the agent orchestration or this multi-agent system. And when I create an agent, I define this operation that we show in the presentation. This pretty much, by example, let's make a triage agent. I define the model. By example, I want to use maybe a Pertus model running maybe at BEGASOFT. And then I define the inference provider. Maybe we have inference provider here created. And then, of course, the name I will put here. Swiss AI Wix. And then when I create this agent, and then I start to working with this specific agent here, this triage agent, I have a blueprint here. I have a blueprint that defines how will this agent behave, and the system will provide a system prompt that allows you to orchestrate other agents. But if you said, okay, this system prompt doesn't fulfill my desires or my need, or then of course you could override it directly with your prompt. And pretty much we are running now late or running out of time right now. And I'm very excited and happy to be part of this session today. And thanks everyone. Thanks to everyone. I don't know, Toby, your last word. Sorry, the time runs so fast.
Yeah, maybe just thank you for that you joined us here. We tried to give a short intro regarding these multi-agent possibilities. If you would like to have more information, more in detail documentation, just let us know. But you're also free to see the video again, the session again on YouTube. And we wish you a happy weekend.
Thanks a lot to you all. Now I better understand how Tom is managing to send so many emails to me and wrapping all this marketing stuff. So it's an agent-driven thing. So great. Thanks a lot for these insights. And I was just sharing a recommendation for an online format and learning about the EU AI Act in 10 minutes. It's will be happening now, I think, in some minutes at 12 noon. So thanks very much and have a great weekend, and maybe see you on Monday. Yeah, bye-bye.
Great weekend, bye.
Ciao.
Bye.
Bye.